Welcome back. And now we're joined over the phone by Dr. Amany Houla, a writer. Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon for your viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us over the phone.
Thank you.
Firstly, can you give us your thoughts and ideas about women's empowerment in the last couple of years?
We have recognized a great improvement with dealing with our case, the case of the women in the developing countries.
Yes.
And for decades, we suffered a lot from the discrimination and
yes.
the male point of view of everything, even including all the women conditions. So now we start to change, which means we are putting our steps and putting the steps up to the right direction of improving the whole community.
Yeah, we've also started seeing changes not just in the political life of Egypt, where we've seen obviously a number of ministers, parliamentarians, and even judges being part of the fold as females, but also in the arts industry and the culture itself. We're starting to see more female directors, more people who are basically the boss. Do you think this is a positive thing?
It's very positive, but put in mind it's only 1% only
yes.
of women are taking this great achievement. But the most important point we have to work on is the majority of women in Egypt, and unfortunately most of them are ignorant. They don't have enough education. They are the real power of the community, yes. and they are the mothers of the generations. We are looking for getting better education for them.
Yes.
So we have to be happy for the achievement of the well-recognized women, but
yes.
we have to put in mind we need to work hard on the rest of them, which are the majority, unfortunately.
Yes. Do you think that campaigns by the state, for instance, to create workshops and teaching these women skills in order to, provide for themselves, is this something that the state is working on right now? Or do you think the focus should be more on education?
We have to work on parallel lines, many parallel lines. One of them is trying to spread the awareness and making campaigns and start to deliver message through all the means of media and social media and through the schools and all the channels we can reach people. We have to work on them to change, because yes. we are asking for change, for a big change of the culture of something becomes very strong belief in our minds. To change the culture, it needs decades and it needs working hard yes. for many years. And we will feel the change very gradual and very slowly. It doesn't change like a magic stick.
Yes, definitely. Which brings me to the next idea. Since you brought up the idea of social media itself, it has been a very powerful tool in a lot of aspects for every Egyptian, for average Egyptians, including the feminist and women's rights movement. In recent years, we've seen quite big, powerful movements that have changed a lot of the ways of thinking by people, and not just that, but sometimes laws as well. How important are these groups for women's rights in Egypt?
Of course, we are now in the age of the social media and of the unusual ways of reaching people through the very recent and late ways. And we need to work on them very hard, because this is the simplest and the easiest and the yes. most effective way to reach people.
Okay, what about, we have a lot of laws, obviously, that are protecting women, including the Constitution, that states that women and men are equal. But in reality, how can we actually effectively, apply these laws? Because there are obviously cracks in the wall itself. We've seen different events happening. They may not be the majority, but it does occur. How can we protect women against, for instance, violence or being sidelined from a job because simply they're female?
We have different sides of the problem. The first problem, we have to make the woman herself feel strong enough and trust of herself and knows her rights because some women accepting the wrong thoughts about the religious way of thinking of women and making her in a second-grade person, which is completely wrong. But we have to make the woman herself understanding her rights, and also to activate and implement the laws and the punishment of the misdealing with women in a very positive and very strong way.
Do you think that maybe in the future we could start to see women in more powerful positions, for instance, being a prime minister?
Of course, this is very normal, and it happens in many countries. And if you recognize, you will find that the developed countries and the more civilized countries are having the women taking a bigger size of the decision making.
Yes. What are your thoughts on the Decent Life Initiative and how it has helped, target women in rural areas to help them develop skills and help them, create more productive, farm products?
All my respect and all my appreciation to this great initiative. It actually reaches people in the very rural areas who are used to suffer for a long time of ignorance and of receiving no services. It's very great, initiative. I hope it continue to reach all the countries.
Hopefully, in the next few years, we're going to see tremendous progress when it comes to empowering women. But unfortunately, we're out of time. So Dr. Amany Houla, a writer, thank you so much for joining us over the phone. This brings us to the end of this episode of Cairo Local Time. Stay tuned for more on Nile TV.